Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7, your doctor of defense, helping you, doctor up your defense. We've got KitMargara of the Ymir's Eden Alliance, and we're going to be, going over his defense, giving us some grades. We grade on 5 different criteria: who you're using, their power levels, their placement, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Let's get to it. Team number 1 is Mercs with Shuri and Killmonger, my favorite Merc composition. Looks like we're doing pretty good on those ISOs. I'd like to see Killmonger switched over to a striker. I know he's got an affinity with that Raider ISO 8, but on this composition, you want as many strikers as possible. Healer on Shuri is good because she's not a mercenary, so she won't trigger the counter assist from old Boneface here. Taskmaster. I have such trouble remembering his name. Okay, I'd like to see you bring up the power level on Merc Lieutenant. He's going to be your liability for when X Factor comes into this team. Honestly, a little bit more power and X Factor won't be able to come into this team. It'll just be a skilletary option. I like what you're doing, though. You're really close on everything. I think that you should maybe switch some placement around. Shuri's not going to need much healing. Why don't you... Let's see. Let's go Shuri, Killmonger. Then we'll go Riot Guard, Lieutenant, and then Taskmaster out on the end. Looking pretty good, though. I'm going to go ahead and give you a B for that. You're right in the ballpark. That's a pretty scary looking defense. All right, team number 2, Fantastic Four with She-Hulk. I always say the team that beats Fantastic Four is the Fantastic Four, so... people are going to come into this with Fantastic Four and Namor and probably do a slight punch up on it. You can bring up your She-Hulk to stop that from happening, but I think you're pretty close. There's no reason to invest anymore in this team. It's just kind of a meh filler team. People are barely even putting this on defense anymore. They've really been power crept to all hell. Their big thing was they got a damage boost for war and stuff, and now with the new teams coming out, it's just no good. Okay. Let's see, you've got the Striker Skirmisher combo thing going on with these guys. That's good. That's exactly how you want it. Yeah. Placement's good. Power level's good. I like this. I'm going to give you an A for this. Yeah, that's a solid setup. I mean, it's not a great team, but it's a solid setup. You're doing it just right. Good job. Team number 3, Wave 1 Avengers, with Coulson in there as the 5th. That's pretty cool. Coulson gives them a huge health bonus to everybody but the Hulk, I believe. So that's pretty good. It's weird, though, that you have Thor in place of Black Widow, or I guess Coulson's taking Black Widow's place. That's interesting. Coulson doesn't have any synergy with Thor. He would with Black Widow, but you're probably running Black Widow on Skilletary team. I'm curious how this would work out. I like your ISOs, although I don't know why everybody is putting Thor as a striker. He is a raider. He does AoE and chain attack damage. Too late now. You overinvested, and those ISOs are too expensive to change. That's okay. He's still putting out good damage. It's all right. Placement looks good. What can I say? This is all right. I'm gonna say a B+, just because the ISO 8 on Thor, and then I'm just not sure if Black Widow would be better in here than Coulson, but he does have good synergy, so I'm curious how this team works out. If you get a lot of defensive victories, message me in Discord. Let me know about it, because I'm curious how that's going to work. All right, team number 4 is the Guardians with Ghost in as your 5th. I'm willing to bet that your iWatch team is you're probably going hard on iWatch, so... Gamora is not going in here. Ghost works. It's something to do. A lot of us have built up this team because we were getting into Dark Dimension 2 or 3 back in the day, and it was the thing to do. Now they're basically a worthless team. You've got Striker, Skirmisher on Groot. That's good. I don't know why you have Skirmisher on Drax, but it doesn't really matter. He's so slow. Anything you put on him is kind of pointless. I mean, you could put Fortifier on him, I guess, just so he starts with that extra damage, absorption there, but it really doesn't matter. Skirmisher works fine. You've got so many strikers on the team. I guess it's a good thing to put him out there. You could also make him a raider because he chain attacks. Honestly, it's just not worth investing in. Ghost is fantastic. You've got her as a striker. That's perfect. She's going into Dark Dimension. That's why you've got her built up so much. It's an okay team. I like your placement. Power levels are fine. Man, that's, you know what? I'm actually going to give you another A for that team. Again, it's not a great team, but you're doing the right thing with this team because you're not using it anywhere else. These characters are not being used anywhere else in war, not for offense or anything. And this is a great defensive team to make with this group. So yeah, okay, I'll give you an A for that. You might consider taking Drax out. You could put somebody else in there. That'll make that striker skirmisher combo pop off with the other three much better. But you know, Drax has great synergy with the team, and I don't even know who you'd replace him with. Vision, maybe? I don't know. God, Vision's so terrible these days. All right, team number 5 is your Skilletary team. I see Skilletary on defense all the time. They're an incredibly good offensive team, especially going into those big mercs. They can punch way up on mercs. They can go into any team that puts out a lot of blind, in fact. I'm seeing people use them against Jubilee and the Axemen. So I kind of think that putting them on defense is a bit of a waste. I'm not even sure how to attack into them. I usually just take like a big... Like, I've got a 400 Fantastic Four with Namor, and I just come into him with that. That'd probably do the trick. I kind of think this is a waste of resources putting him on defense. I don't like it. But, let's see how you've built it. You've got Skirmisher on her. I'd like to see... Oh, yeah, I guess because of the way on Skilletary. Yeah, she needs to be Skirmisher. You should put Skirmisher on your Merc guy here. On your Mirthless work. The only reason he's here is he shows up and then his passive takes place, gives him all that war damage bonus. He can die after that, doesn't matter. So you should make him a skirmisher so he can apply the vulnerable just before the Punisher goes and does his triple tap ultimate. Raider on her is good. I mean, I like her as a skirmisher, but striker works also. It just kind of depends on where you're using her. I'm not that familiar with the Skilletary team. I was assuming you'd want her as a striker, but we'll see. Hollywood says Merc Soldier can hit hard. I'm gonna have to take his word for it. I'm not a big fan of this team. I still think it's luxury at the mid-game level. I'm gonna give you a C- for this. I think you should be using him on offense. 6. Doc Ock, Sinister 6, you got him in between the two chargeables. That's good. You should get Mysterio out of there. He is a liability for the Axemen and the symbiotes, especially at his low power level. Otherwise, I think you're doing okay. I'm seeing people set this team up so that Rhino is the summon, and that's because Rhino's pretty tanky, and the symbiotes and the Axemen can't work off of that. So, I mean... I don't know. I think you should just switch out Mysterio with whoever you have the most investment in, Green Goblin or Vulture. Hopefully we get Kraven the Hunter out here soon. That'd be pretty nice. Let's see. Healer, Striker, Raider, Skirmisher, and Healer on your tank. Yeah, I like it. I like the placement. Wow, that's a good setup. I'm going to give it a B. I think you should switch out Mysterio. All right, team number 7. H for H with Doom. This is a scary team. You know what would be more scary than this team? 2 teams. Get Doom off of this team. He's scary enough that he's going to be needed. He's going to soak up some really big tunes. You don't need him on this team. You can put JJ on this team. That resistance really helps when Surfer comes in trying to strip the charges off of Colleen Wing. So I would just put JJ in here or somebody else if you want. If you're in a defense down room, adjacent to security or security itself, then Kestrel is a great choice because she procs off of all those defense downs that the enemy will spawn with. I mean, this is super, super scary. It's a 2-tap team. Somebody's going to come in here with like Shadowlands and kill Doom, and then somebody else is going to come in here with their Kestrel killer team. Or maybe iWatch. iWatch could probably take this out. Even just the 4 members of iWatch could probably take this out at even power levels if they came in with like Zemo as the 5th. So I would take Doom out of here. Just make 2 scary teams instead of 1. Let's see. Doom is a striker. She's skirmisher, healer. ISOs are correct. I don't like your placement. I think you should swap Colleen Wing and Luke Cage. Yeah, I think you should swap Colleen Wing and Luke Cage. Actually, you know what you should do? Okay, let's go Colleen Wing. Let's go Iron Fist, then Misty, then I would like to see JJ or somebody else in here, but Doom, and then Luke Cage on the end. I think that's how it should go. Yeah, do it that way. Super scary team. Once you get the stars on those players, and I think this is going to be really tough. I don't think people should be investing in defensive teams. You've already put the investment into this team, and it's super scary, so you might as well take them up. But yeah. I'm going to give you a B. I think you could do a lot better by splitting them up. All right. And the final team, Marauders. Okay, the first thing you should do is move this from team number 8 to like team number 1. You want this team to hopefully soak up some of those Shadowlands or maybe X Factors or anything. They've got tons of counters. It's fine if you're playing them, you know, they're easy to beat now, but usually someone is going to use one of those counters, and that means those counters can't be used on your Hero for Hire or your Doom team. I really like that you've got Minerva in here in place of Sabretooth. I think that works really well. That gives you some added resistance, although at this point, this team is so beatable, you could use Minerva elsewhere. It doesn't really matter. They're going to get beat no matter what. So why not save Minerva for something else? Strife as a healer is my second choice. I like him as a fortifier. He's one of the few tanks that works really well with the barrier mechanic. Oh, wow, you've got them all as healer. That's a thing to do. You're trying to get them to have the sustainability. The problem is the teams that beat this team move so fast, they're going to kill them before their turn happens, and they utilize those rejuves. So all those heals is not really doing you much. Healer on Emma, healer on Sinister, healer on Minerva, healer on Strife kind of works, but you should put a skirmisher on Mystique. And I think you should just go ahead and put Sabretooth in here with Raider. I think that's the way to go. But hey, it's a team and you've got a strategy. That strategy is somewhat effective. I think all those heals are kind of being wasted. I would just come in here with a Shadowlands team. I would disrupt Strife, then I would ability block Emma, then I would kill Minerva, and then go back to Strife, and then kill Emma. It would take me a while, but... And of course, my Shadowlands is not going to be able to punch up on a 700 Marauder team, so you got that going for you. It's a good team. I'm going to give you a B for it. I think you can do better with that. All right, if you like what you saw, please leave a like down in the description. You know, leave comments if you think you got better ideas for compositions and stuff. I actually love that theory crafting stuff. And you can always come and watch us do these live on Twitch Thursdays, 9 to noon. Don't just have a good game. Be good to each other too. Thanks. Bye.